Okay, here's the thing, Skip. I'm gonna have to say it. Why is it that us 4C babes have the burden, unprovoked, unasked for burden of loving ourselves unconditionally? We have to be the most self-lovingest babes of all the babes in the natural hair community. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our channel. I am JC. If you are new here, from JustLostJC here, oh whatever. Okay, first things first, I have to point out that this hair texture in my hair is not my natural hair texture. It is a protective style, completely 100% protective style, if you can believe it. I will put a link in the card so that if you're interested, you can check out this hairstyle. But I have to get that out of the way because obviously this video and this conversation centers people with kinkier hair types, specifically 4C and beyond. Okay, so I wanted to get that out there because I am a 4C girl, despite what it's given right now, okay, with the clip-ins. I am a 4C girl, currently protecting my hair a bit, but don't worry, it'll be back very shortly. I'm very excited to have it back, but yeah. Okay, so I wanted to have this discussion, jump into this discussion, because as everyone knows, there was a video that went viral. I'm not going to put the video in here, one, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, but also I feel like it's a pretty discussed topic at this point, and it's not really about the video. It's mainly about the discussion of accepting hair types and what it looks like to accept your hair type, especially now in 2022, okay? Because in this day and age, after the birth, the rebirth, the growing up, the adulthood, the maturation, okay, of the natural hair movement, which has been going on for a long time, I feel like we're no longer in a stage where we can say that we're completely ignorant about natural hair and how to take care of it and how to love it and the different types of textures that are out there and the different porosities that are out there, and the fact that someone might have a regimen that you might think you can try but it might not work for you. I feel like we all know that, but still we're having the discussion now about how to actually love your hair texture and what it means. If you're questioning whether or not you love it, whether or not you don't, what does that mean? Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna have to take it back. We're gonna have to pull the dial back, because if I'm gonna have this discussion, honestly, I have to talk about before going on my natural hair journey, because this all started before I actually took the plunge to go natural. So those of y'all that know my story specifically, I did not go natural from having permed hair. I call what I did becoming a conscious natural. So I had a perm when I was, or a relaxer rather, when I was really young. I think, well, not really young, like, I don't know. I had a relaxer when I was younger, and then my mom actually stopped relaxing my hair, all of my sister's hair, just because my dad was like, this is too expensive, we can't afford this. Okay, we're trying to save, honey, we're trying to save. And so because of that, my hair stopped being relaxed. I remember my wash days and my hair looking straight to gradually the wash days, the hair just started turning into a fro, and never was really explained to me what was the difference, but I did notice it. I remember thinking, what the heck, what happened? But I was young, it didn't matter. My mom was braiding my hair, so it was fine. When I switched to going on the natural hair journey, I'm going to call that the conscious natural hair journey. That just means that I became aware of the fact that, hey, my hair is natural, okay? But it's in a state of being natural where I didn't take care of it. I'm not looking for things that is going to give it the optimal health. In fact, my mom is the one taking care of it, and she's just doing pretty much what needs to be done to get one style in that will last for as long as it possibly can. We're not really thinking about growing it. We're not really thinking about the health of it. It's not really important. It's just a style that makes you look presentable, that I can do quickly, that I can do on your two other sisters, and you can get to school. That was it. So when I went natural or started my natural hair journey, what I was thinking about was taking over from my mom. Now I was old enough that I felt like I can learn how to do my hair, and oh, our hair can grow. I thought what I had was just what I had. Like what you had couldn't get any better or couldn't get any worse. It's just what genetics gave you, that was it. But then I learned, oh, okay, no, you can actually grow your hair. So before I even delved into my natural hair journey, I have to admit, I have to say it, I wasn't one of those people, okay, that stumbled upon a different hair texture of mine and used that as a basis to determine what I wanted my hair to be like or what I wanted my hair to look like. Again, I have to admit, I have to say that I do think that the fact that I was natural already, though I wasn't a conscious natural, I was natural already, made me more aware of how my hair would be. So I'm going to hold a bit of space, okay? I'm going to hold a bit of space for those women and men out there that transitioned from relaxer into natural. And they transitioned because they were influenced by, you know, what was happening, the movement that was happening on Tumblr. I liked a bit of Tumblr for, you know, the natural hair stuff. Tumblr, YouTube, they decided to transition because of that. And unfortunately, or fortunately, again, how it is in the hair, the natural hair community kind of mimics, I think, the way a lot of people stumbled into the natural hair community, which is the promotion of the looser hair textures. They stumbled into it seeing maybe looser hair textures and hoping and wishing, because it's been so long since they even seen their hair texture, that theirs would be very similar to that. I didn't have that. I didn't have a major disappointment. I didn't have months and months and months of indoctrinating myself with the regimens and the hair products and everything that these type 3 hair girls were using or type 2 hair girls were using, hoping and wishing that, okay, my relaxer is going to grow out and let's see how my hair is going to look. I didn't have that. So when I was doing research before I decided that, hey, I think I'm competent enough to take on this journey, the people that I was looking to were all people that I could recognize had the same hair texture as me. However, okay, those of you that watch My Art for Kids, I love that show, okay. However, what I have to admit is that all of the people that made it onto my natural hair inspiration wall, all of the people that made it into my subscription at the time, all the people that I was avid watchers of theirs, would rewatch their videos multiple times so that I could like indoctrinate myself with how to do this without even having to look back at their tutorial, just know, okay, this is how I take care of it, all had length. And how did I know they had length? Because they also all did styles that stretched out their hair and showed their length. And for me, that's what I wanted. You know, for me, I felt like my hair was thick enough, you know, and I still feel like my hair is thick enough. I just needed to, you know, get back to where it needs to be, okay? I felt like my hair naturally was thick enough. I just didn't feel like naturally that my hair was long enough. And all these girls had length, and I could clearly see the length, and that's what enticed me. And I will say, in the beginning of the natural hair journey, and the beginning of the natural hair movement, at least when I stumbled upon it, it was, especially in the type 4 spaces, about length. Now, I don't know what was really happening in the type 3 spaces, if they were caring as much about definition as it seemed like it kind of evolved to be. I feel like the natural hair movement, from my lens, was about length at one point, and then I saw it shifting. I saw a shift even in the type 4C category, a type 4C or type 4 hair category of girls and people on YouTube, that it started switching into defining, definition, what products can get you curls. So it was less about the length now and about, okay, you have a TWA, but how can we get your TWA from looking less like, I don't know, 4C hair to looking a bit more curled and defined and coiled and all of this. So there was a wave shift, but at least I will say in the beginning, what I had to latch on to was length. And how that length was shown off was stretching the hair. All of that to say that when I started my natural hair journey, it was 100% about stretching the hair. It was 100% about seeing the length and being able to show the progress, or see the progress that I was making, that I didn't know was possible, but I was, you know, testing it out. And eventually, the more I saw the progress, the more I wanted to see the progress. And the more I got progress, the more I wanted to figure out how to hold on to that progress. And again, everything that I saw was the hair had to be manipulated. The hair had to be manipulated, and the texture essentially changed to be able to show off that length. So what I mean by that is that in order to show off the length, a lot of hairstyles, or the major hairstyles that at least at the time, were braid outs and twist outs. Okay, braid outs and twist outs not only stretch the hair, they also alter the texture a little bit. So to me, altering the texture and showing your length, in essence, came hand in hand. I didn't see one without the other. That's how I saw it growing up. I didn't see anybody just washing their hair, you know, putting some products in it, letting it look unkempt, which is essentially what I was gathering at the time, and just leaving their house. That wasn't something that I even saw. Even me doing a twist out on my hair at the time, that's how you have to imagine the time that this was seen as something that was radical and in a way unkempt, I would say, because I've shared these stories on my channel before. But I would have twist outs and be at the bus stop, this was in high school, and have guys coming over and saying things like, oh my god, her hair looks so nappy, oh, she looks like naming celebrities that have locks, first of all, as I guess to be an insult. So a popular one was Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, she looks like Whoopi Goldberg. There was another one I was told I looked like a slave. Listen. Hey!
Hey! May all the gods of Ebenezer combined, you see, strike you with epilepsy. You see, now we are coco.
Jesus! Chai. I've really suffered for this life. Luckily, I've always been pretty strong-willed. If I'm set my mind to something, I don't give a bloody damn. I don't give a bloody heck. So even though I have, quote-unquote, suffered, if I'm going to be absolutely honest, none of those comments deterred me from my journey, okay? And none of those comments made me want to do something to further alter the texture of my hair. Like, again, I was already doing twist scalps, okay? So again, it gives you some sort of a pattern. Even the pattern wasn't good enough when it came to Brooklyn and growing up, you know, at the time when the natural hair movement wasn't as popular, I guess. Also, I mentioned the fact that these hairstyles were not only meant to show length, at least as I understood it as I was watching the YouTube videos, not only meant to show length, but also to preserve length. So it's not just that I rocked twist outs out, it was that I would wash and I still do, wash my hair in twists. I would keep my hair in twists, which is of course a style that is manipulating your hair as well as stretching it. Keep my hair in those twists for long periods of time. So yes, showing length was a part of it, but retaining length also came hand in hand. So to me, it was like, the more stretched out your hair is, the more you retain length. And I have to say, even to this day, and I understand this new like wave of people trying to embrace their hair, for me personally, I 100% believe, okay, that having your hair stretched out, being manipulated, is the best way to retain length, especially the coilier and kinkier that your hair is, because of the fact that shrinkage is a thing, knots are a thing, tangles are a thing, and the more tangles that you have to get out of your hair, the more your hair tangles, the more likely you are to break it unintentionally. Whether you're trying to comb through it, you get frustrated, all of that. Like, I had noticed a dramatic change in my hair from doing protective styles and from doing styles that keep my hair more stretched and elongated. I have also noted a drastic difference from when I wear my hair shrunken up, which I absolutely love those styles, and I have, you know, videos on my channel about it. It's usually when I do a twist and curl. I love those styles because then it gradually turns into like just a shrunken up afro. Listen, it's chef's kiss. Okay, I love that style. Also, I really care about thickness, especially now, since my hair went through that setback that it went through with iron deficiency and everything. So thickness is huge for me, and for me, the more shrunken my hair is, the thicker it looks. So I do have a tendency, even with my twist outs, as you all know, to add some kind of water or add some kind of steam to get it shrunken up. But I will say that I have noticed that since doing that, yes, I cannot wear the twist out for as long because I've decided to shrink it just a little. It's not even the shrinkage that you're really seeing. It's not even the shrinkage that my hair can really be doing, okay? It's not even adapting, bruv. It's not even adapting. And I still have noticed the time to detangle take a bit longer than it did when I would just wear my hair in straight twist out and not shrink it up and let it shrink kind of naturally with nature and the humidity and all of that, but not doing my own to really get it shrunken. There is definitely a difference in the detangle time and in the knots and stuff that I see in my hair. So honestly, it is true that for the health of hair, and if you want it to grow and retain length, which that is important for some people, that you are going to have to mitigate the amount of tangles that get in your hair and the amount of breakage, essentially. Now, I do think it is important to question when you're doing some of these styles, especially now with this discussion being open, if it is a fact that you feel uncomfortable, you know, at the thought of your hair just being shrunken and wearing that out. I feel like that is something to unpack and discover amongst yourself, you know. I think it's only something that's introspective. No amount of videos is going to be able to really call you to the table until you're ready to look at that. So I do think that's something to look at. However, okay, even if you are uncomfortable wearing your hair because it is type 4 out and about, I could not even 100% blame that on you, because not only, I mean, it's very, very clear that there was preferential treatment at the height of the natural hair movement, okay? It was very clear in the numbers, it was very clear in the amount of money and cash doila, okay? And other kinds of forms of currency that were being delved out or given to people that had different hair textures, looser hair textures. So it was very clear that to thrive in this community and the way that it shifted was to be able to define your curls. It was to be able to use a product that you can buy in Target, put it on your hair, and see coils and curls. And I still know people to this day that have type 4 hair that are very, very coil definition obsessed. So I'm saying, since we're trying to unpack this, is that something that you think that should be seen as a negative thing? Do you think those people that are very adamant about their hair looking defined, the more defined the better, are those people also, you know, somewhat in that wave of needing a hair texture, needing to fit in some capacity to this? Can we say that perhaps they're trying to emulate what some of the girls, okay, that have looser hair textures can do and what they can give? I mean, perhaps. But I will also say that us, people in the type 4 community, people in the 4C community, also have a terrible habit in their language around 4C hair of supporting some of those thoughts. Okay, so here's the thing, Skip. Okay, here's the thing, Skip. I'm gonna have to say it because somebody in the back needs to hear this, okay? My hair is type 4 fully, 4C mainly, a little bit of 4B. My hair is not gonna be shining, okay? It's not gonna be shining and reflecting the light. Get over it. Build a bridge and get over it. You know the amount of times that people, even with my hair texture, or think they have a similar hair texture to me, will tell me, oh, your hair must not be moisturized correctly because it looks a bit dry. Sweetie, sugar, okay? You want me to be living in bondage like you? Okay? You want me to be living in bondage like you, buying all these products that said it's gonna make my hair to be shiny? Okay? It's not gonna happen unless I'm using things like silicones, which again, I don't do. It's really not that deep for me, honey, okay? So yes, I will use products that should moisturize and that do moisturize my hair, but it's not going to reflect the light the same way a person with a curlier texture would reflect. In fact, okay, there are people with curlier hair textures that do not moisturize probably as often as some people like us with 4C hair, and their hair will still reflect light. It's just about the surface area that the light is able to bounce off of. That's it. But using terms like, oh, your hair looks dry, and you expect people to want to leave their house without it being obviously manipulated, because using things like, oh, I want my hair to have less frizz. There are certain textures, okay, that naturally do have more frizz. Why is frizz now the thing we're all trying to get rid of, okay? And you know that when I do my twist outs, I fluff out my hair. The more frizz, the better for me, especially in the center, okay? Because I like volume with my hair. I don't give a bloody heck, okay? I don't give a bloody damn about frizz. But I have been told many times that, oh, your hair could be less frizzy. Oh, or people when they talk about their hair, oh my God, there's so much frizz. And it's like, well, you're talking about how much frizz your hair has, and I don't really see that much frizz, but my hair is pretty much frizzy most of the time because that's kind of what the texture does when you have disrupted curls like that that can easily be put not in accord with each other until it just appears frizzy. Whatever. But you're using it as a negative connotation, and I'm like, that's what I have. Okay, but I'm supposed to love, great, cool. But we all love our cool. Also, people talking about how their hair can never be defined. Oh, it's so hard for me to define my hair. These are people that have type 4 hair that should know. So you telling me that you use this product and that should be able to define my hair and I'm not doing it right. Why is the status, why is the goal of doing it right getting some definition? You don't want me to talk about that. Y'all don't want me to shake the table, honey. Y'all don't want me to shake the table. So I'm going to leave it right there. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Okay. This part, somebody's going to be tearing the singlet. Somebody is going to be tearing their singlet in anger. Here's the thing. Skip. The unpopular take, but I'm going to say it anyway. Why is it that us 4C babes, I'm going to say C specifically. I'm going to leave the 4B out of this, but especially the 4C babes. Why do we have the burden, okay, unprovoked, unasked for burden of loving ourselves unconditionally? We have to be the most self-lovingest babes of all the babes in the natural hair community. So I know this challenge is going around that we're supposed to not do our hair essentially, or not define it or try and manipulate it and go outside. Why? Why is it us? Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, especially if you have heard this discussion and come to grips with the fact that, yeah, okay, my actual hair texture really makes me uncomfortable. I should get to actually love it. Yeah, understandable. But I'm saying, again, why are we supposed to be the most self-lovingest babes in all of the kingdom? In all of the kingdom. People with type 3 hair, people even with type 2 hair, people even with straight hair have routines upon routines upon routines, okay? Again, I started off the natural hair journey watching mainly people with my hair texture, but as it started to morph and evolve, yes, most of the people that showed up on my feed did not have my hair texture. They mainly had 3 or 2, mainly 3 type hair textures. So I would watch some of their videos. And some of these gals, all right, the gal them, they had a whole bag of product, had steps upon steps upon steps. I mean, I ain't never seen so many products in my life, okay? To get the defined curl, to mitigate the frizz that they had. They had diffusers, they had special scrunchies that they had to put it up with at night. They did the most to get it to look the way they needed to look, okay? And we are the ones that's supposed to wash our hair, fiam, enter the street, fiam, outside in the world, fiam, into school, fiam, into your work, fiam. We're the ones that's supposed to do that? Cool. Now that's cool. I mean, it's doable, but also why? Why are we being called to the table? Why am I being called to the table? I don't want to be at the why am I being called to the table? I know, I went to school. I went to a PWI high school as well as college, actually. Predominantly white college. These girls would wake up super early and they had wavy hair, okay, to straighten it, to manipulate, to do what they needed to do, to wash it 365 days to get it to look a certain way, okay? So even they, in essence, didn't feel comfortable. Obviously, they don't feel comfortable for a different reason than people with kinkier textures will not feel comfortable, especially in the West, especially in a place dominated by people with a certain hair textures or looser hair textures, proximity to whiteness. Yes, I get it. So, you know, I'm making the argument, I guess, I know it's not, I guess, no, I know it's not the fairest comparison, but still, at the end of the day, people with women, I should say, with 4C hair are still ladies, okay? They're still babes at the end of the day. And everyone somewhat enjoys like I put on a red lip today. Not because I don't like my lips. Not because I don't like the natural color. Because sometimes you just want to have enjoyment in the process of getting ready. Sometimes you want to feel like you put an effort into the world. Okay? Now to evaluate the reason why you put that effort in. Maybe it's because you feel uncomfortable. Maybe it's because you hate what's going on with you naturally. Fine. Cool. Definitely should do that. But I'm just saying. Again, I understand that I have in some clip-ins that are not my hair textures. And I did my baby hairs. Don't at me. Not me doing a video about loving your hair without my hair. This is awkward. Anyway. I'm going to leave it right there. Please check out all my other videos. I clearly don't have an issue with my hair, okay? We're just trying out new things this summer. I'm not a self-hating black woman, okay? It's giving that vibe, but that's not the vibe it is, okay? So what you see isn't always what's real. Remember that, okay? Anyway, that is it. I, of course, want to know all your comments down below. I hope this video was fun and interesting to watch. It was definitely fun and interesting to think about. Make sure you like, comment, please comment, because again, I want to hear what the girls are saying. Anyway, I also have an Instagram and a TikTok now. What? I'm a TikTok girl, so if you want to see a bit more of my madness, okay? Mad. Check out my TikTok, definitely more of that on there. Of course, Instagram, you know, mediocre content, but what can I say? We try. I'm trying, Sha. And I'm going to see you in my next one. Okay, bye.